This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the new media production studio. The lead stories: YouTube settles contract dispute. A new Tesla booster goes to the pad. The Matrix digital release time has been announced. And Amazon stops ban on phones in warehouses. I want to welcome you to episode 1577 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, December 20th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider. I want to give a warm welcome to all the new listeners of the show. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking the podcast out. Of course, get over to geeknewscentral.com. Check out all the great content on the website. And of course, we want you to subscribe to our newsletter while you're on the website. That's the best way to stay connected with the show. Of course, get subscribed. That's the best way to never miss a single episode here. You can always join our chat room at geeknews.chat or our Discord channel, which is link is in the show notes. And of course, you can contact me via email. That's real simple to do. geeknews@gmail.com or on Twitter @geeknews. You can follow me on Facebook as well. All the partner shows are linked at geeknewscentral.com, whether it be the new media show, whether it be the Gadget Professor, or the GNC Week in Review. Check the family of shows out at geeknewscentral.com. Of course, this show would not be possible without our good sponsor, longtime sponsor, GoDaddy. We want to thank GoDaddy for being a longtime sponsor of this podcast, and make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy to save yourself a lot of cash. Whether it be 30% off new product purchases at $4.99.com for newer transfer domains for new customers, or $2.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain, or $2.99 a month managed WordPress hosting for the first year with a free domain. Those are the two best, absolute best hosting deals available on the planet. Definitely check those out. Of course, you can get a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. That's a 1-month free trial. All those links, all those deals are found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. We want to thank GoDaddy for being a longtime sponsor here. It's really, really appreciated for what they do. You know, I just noticed something today. This is very, very interesting. Over on my laptop, I have the Facebook stream up and running. And what do I see? Closed captions playing back. I must have hit something. I have never seen closed captions being played on live video. That, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely remarkable. I have no idea how, I've never seen this before. I just looked over there. I'm like, there's closed captions going on the live stream today on Facebook. Very, very interesting. Well, good for them. I wonder if I turn the volume on, interesting. When the volume is off, I must have hit closed caption. Oh, looky there. I didn't know that was a thing. It must have been there the whole time. So there's a closed caption option on the live. I did not know. I must have hit the button tonight while I was starting the show. So what a way to start the podcast. Look over there and see closed caption running from Facebook being automatically generated. So isn't that slick? Well, I don't have a lot of news to give you guys an update. Just things have been crazy here. Getting ready, obviously, for Christmas. We're in the countdown now, right? It's going to be a very, very short week. And it's been business as usual. I was very, very busy today, catching up really on email and everything from that happened. Did have a family Christmas party on Sunday, and went to some friends' places on Saturday. So it had a great weekend, very, very full family and friends. So otherwise, we're back here in the saddle as promised for 2 shows. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm just going to get right into the stack tonight and get through this. And just before the show started, I was running a little behind. Grabbed myself a Red Bull, so I've got a Red Bull fired up here for the rest of the show tonight. I'm going to start off talking about SpaceX. You know, SpaceX has been using reusable boosters almost all year. Well, today, they rolled out a rare new Falcon 9 booster for the last launch of 2021, and it's a resupply mission to the International Space Station. And they had used a new booster on a previous resupply mission, too. So I wonder if they have some sort of contract with NASA that says you're going to fly new boosters. I don't know. But some of their boosters now are up to 11 or 12 launches. So to see a brand new one's kind of surprising. But it tells you really here how much money SpaceX is saving, because this mission, the CRS-24 Cargo Dragon 2's fourth International Space Station resupply run. This will be SpaceX's 31st Falcon 9 launch of the year, beating its 26 launch record the company set in 2020. And this is the first time that they have rolled out a new booster in 29 missions. And that's pretty impressive that they've flown 29 other flights between introducing a new booster. And again, the only other time SpaceX flew a new booster was CRS-22, which was on another, again, like I said, a Cargo Dragon run to the International Space Station. So very, very cool. So I don't know when this launch goes down. You have to check the SpaceX website to see that, but it is coming. Also, The Matrix Resurrection will not, I repeat, will not hit HBO Max until 3 a.m. Eastern on December 22nd. So you can get some sleep and watch it Wednesday morning. Or go to the movie. I want to go to the movie. I'm not going to go on opening day, I don't think, but I don't want to watch, especially with the internet connectivity I have at the loft, I do not want to watch it on my big screen. I want to watch it on a big screen at the movie theater and get the full Dolby experience. Some of you may have that in your entertainment systems at home. Mine's not that fancy. But anyway, Matrix is coming the 22nd. We're here. Also, Amazon has scrapped new ban on phones in warehouses until further notice. The tornadoes that basically destroyed one of their warehouses and killed several people. They're loosening its control on workers' activities as safety concerns mount. The internet retailers confirmed that will back off a rejuvenated effort to ban personal phones in warehouses. Staff were told on December 17th they could keep their phones at hand until further notice. The company banned phones in warehouses for years, but eased its approach as COVID-19 hit. The ban was poised to resume in January 22. So it's expected that now that the phone use is still banned, but at least I can carry them. I think they're also worried about people taking pictures and leaking sensitive info. But, you know, I worked a job at one time where I couldn't have my phone with me either. And it really sucks to leave your phone. It's definitely teaches you not to be on it all day. But interesting move here by Amazon. Also, YouTube has settled its contract disputes with Disney and has given customers $15 this month. And they did have a little bit of a drop. And but Disney has they've signed with Disney. And the Disney Channel, Disney Junior, Disney XD, Freeform, FX, FFX, FXM, National Geographic, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, ESPNU, ESPN News, SEC Network, and ACC Network are all back on the air. So we'll see and how that goes. I don't watch much sports, so I really didn't need ESPN, to be honest with you. Tesla has announced a free holiday supercharging. Find out where and when you can get free juice for your electric vehicle. And they're making it free with some caveats. The move, which is intended to curb long wait times at automakers' charging stations, is limited to off-peak hours in select locations. A map on Tesla's consumer website confirms between December 23rd and December 26th, owners motoring along select travel routes in the U.S. can receive free charging at specific stations between 7 p.m. and 10 a.m. The perk is only available for the Model S, Model 3, Model X, and the Model Y. So it's not all locations, just some. And I'm looking at the map here that they have, and it's mostly California. Looks like a few in Nevada, maybe a few in Arizona, and then Texas, a few out in Pennsylvania, Florida, but none in Michigan, none in Indiana, Ohio. Nope, no free charging there. So, yep, check your map to make sure you get free charging. Otherwise, you'll get charged. The folks over at Web Designer Depot have listed the 50 best websites of 2021. And most of these you'll have never heard of. But they went on design, not necessarily statistics, but things that were creative. So this is kind of a cool thing. So if you're looking to think about a new website design and you're thinking about a new homepage, this is a pretty good lineup of really cool, nice websites that are designed. Not a lot of function on a lot of these websites because I opened a few of them up. They're mostly just like pretty pictures at the beginning. That wastes people's time, in my opinion, when you're searching the web. But this is what they consider the 50 best websites of 2021. Link will be in the show notes. The FCC's reached a settlement with AT&T and Verizon and others over 911 outages. The companies agreed to pay a total of $6 million. So not too much money. But we know the most important phone call you'll ever have to make will be calling 911. And when 911 doesn't work, well, it's bad news. Bad news. Robbery, health, car wreck. So they paying a fine of $6 million. Also, I've got the list of what's new on Paramount Plus in January 2022. And some Star Trek stuff. The Envoys, Good Sam, Undercover Boss, Awesome TV's Next Influencers, Air Disasters. So there's a whole lineup of movies as well. So just keep an eye out. So if you've been looking for something new to watch in January, the list is in. A Delaware court has says Dominion Voting Systems can continue suing Fox News for $1.6 billion in defamation. Another one of Dominion's voting systems' many lawsuits will be allowed to continue. This particular lawsuit was filed in Delaware against Fox, alleging that many of its hosts and commentators lied about Dominion's voting machine and its owners during coverage following the election. These false claims continue made by Fox News personalities and has amplified by guest commentators. Fox moved to dismiss the lawsuit and saying it was protected speech, but they're going to allow the lawsuit to continue. So, $1.6 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money even for Fox. They have insurance for this kind of thing. I don't know what the insurance coverage is, but, not a well-liked company by many people in this country right now, for sure. They don't trust. A lot of people don't trust, regardless of what people say, a lot of people do not trust these voting machines. So I can understand where Dominion's coming from. Their reputation has been significantly tarnished. Ford Mustang Mach-E joins New York City's yellow taxi fleet. So this is the paint a Ford Mach-E taxi yellow. I tell you, I guess, when you're riding around in style in somebody's Uber, it's probably nice to get in a nice vehicle in New York City. Remember the old beat-up cabs they used to have in New York? I mean, they were horrible. They were just rattling cans of metal. Now, it hasn't been that way for many years, but a long time ago in New York, taxis there just sucked. So this is, I guess, a step up, but it seems quite the move. Now, the only good thing I really can say totally about this is that they're driving Fords. So, electric or not, it's a Ford. So, good for them. As we move on here, one thing is always challenging when you're letting someone go is what is the severance going to be? Now, if you're fired for cause, you may not get severance pay. But if you're just let go, terminated, usually companies have a severance package. Basically, it's kind of usually they're written. It's written into the company's policies. Well, this better CEO that made a total jerk of himself by making himself an internet villain when he laid off 900 people on Zoom, he said that apparently he only wanted to grant 1 or 2 weeks of severance pay. And I think what you boil down to, you have to determine how long someone's been working for you. If you are been near a year, do you deserve a month's worth of severance? Probably not. So if you've been there a year, do you deserve a couple of weeks of severance pay? Probably. If you've been there 5 years, would you deserve a month or 2 of severance? Probably. But apparently he only wanted to do 1 to 2 weeks for everyone. And again, I don't know how long if it varied based on employment length. But usually that's kind of laid out. It's not always written, but usually there's a policy that is established, some sort of formula. So, they don't have to give anything. There's nothing said that you have to give severance pay. It is a nicety to give severance pay. And it's a good thing to do if you're letting employees go, you're changing up your business model, or you're trying to cut down on maybe business isn't as good. So, interesting. And some of the executives were pushing for 8 to 10 weeks of severance pay, which, that's quite a bit if you think about it, depending, again, how long you work for the company. What say you? What is your company's policy for severance packages? What do you know? Do you know what their policy is? Is it written in the employee handbook? Some places probably don't do that per se. I'd be curious to hear feedback. geeknews@gmail.com. Over in the United Kingdom, they've donated 225 million stolen passwords to a hacked checking site. It's interesting. So UK law enforcement donated a 225 million unique passwords to a cybersecurity project helping to protect users from hacking. The National Crime Agency recovered the database from cybercriminals who had collected real users' email addresses and passwords. The list has been added to free online service Have I Been Pawned? And basically go on there and see if you've been hacked. Troy Hunt, the security researcher, runs the site, announced on Friday is now a pipeline function for law enforcement to add passwords that have been recovered to the service. The premise is simple. He wrote in a blog post, during the course of investigations, they come across a list of compromised passwords. And if they were able to continuously feed those into HIBP, all the other services out there using pawned passwords would better be able to protect their customers from account takeovers. So HIPB is free, but accepts donations, adverts, and sponsorships. So that's very cool. And really what they're doing there is you will know because it goes into a database. And if you're using some sort of protection service, I do. I have a protection service that monitors social media, looks at all this stuff. And if one of my email addresses pops up along with a password, it lets me know. Now, I use a randomized generator to create passwords now, so they're about this long. And there's no way, well, I can't even remember them. I have to use a password application to be able to remember what they are. So it's interesting to see some of this out there. Here's a little factoid. Cortana, yes, some of you have a Cortana, would be named Bingo if Steve Ballmer had his way. Steve Ballmer wanted Microsoft's Cortana AI to be called Bingo, so it'd be more Microsoft branded. That's according to a former Microsoft product manager who recounted the story of how Microsoft's AI assistants got its name. While we've gotten a pretty good idea of Microsoft's ambitions vision for the AI assistant in the year since it leaked, they gave their inside story how Cortana was named. And the article is a good reminder of the fun origin story behind the assistant being branded as Cortana. The name was taken from the Halo character, who is also an AI, which isn't confusing at all. It was only supposed to be used during development. It was actually supposed to be called Alex, A-L-Y-X, according to the rep. But when the name leaked, Halo fans and tech writers were so frenzied that Microsoft decided to officially dub the feature as Cortana. So, interesting there. Link in the show notes. Rocket companies have scooped up Truebill for nearly $1.3 billion in major fintech play. So, Rocket Company CEO wasn't kidding when he told Yahoo Finance in November he was on the hunt for acquisitions to diversify his company after and fetch a higher trading multiples for stock that has been under pressure. So it's been buying up companies. So it would acquire personal finance Truebill for $1.27 billion in cash. Truebill was founded in 2015 and currently has 2.5 million members who use the platform to manage subscription and bills as well as budgets. The company says it currently analyzes $50 billion in monthly transaction volume and has saved customers more than $100 million since its founding. Any of you use Truebill? Love to hear from you if you do. Meta has cracked down. Yes, Meta, the company behind Facebook, cracks down on phishing scams that use its trademarks. Bad actors allegedly created over 39,000 phony login pages as part of a phishing scheme and is taking legal action, basically for bad actors impersonating Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram to conduct phishing scams. The defendants created over 39,000 websites in an attempt to replicate Meta's services, subsequently deceiving users and collecting their login information. So they're basically are going and trying to get a relay service called ngrok to basically review where this traffic came from so they can dig this out. So a pretty significant case filed in California. So we'll watch where this one goes. NASA has unveiled audio recordings of Jupiter's largest moon, and it sounds like R2-D2. NASA spent years navigating Jupiter to understand the origin and evolution of our solar system, and over the summer, researchers collecting radio waves from Ganymede made a surprising find. The recording of Jupiter's largest moon, which adapted to human ears, sounds like R2-D2. So, the Juno spacecraft can be dozen orbits around the planet. On June 7th, it flew closer to Jupiter's largest moon than any other in more than 20 years, coming within 645 miles. As it got close, NASA Waves instrument collected data from electric and magnetic radio waves. Researchers then shifted the frequency of the waves to make them audible, creating a 50-second moon track filled with chirps, beeps, and boops that sound like R2-D2. So it's on YouTube. It's in the show notes. You can go listen to it. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you'd actually be able to hear it if you were standing on the planet, but it'd be a little weird to hear R2-D2 as you're standing there in a spacesuit. NASA's Artemis 1 moon mission slips to spring 22 after an engine issue. The uncrewed moonshot on the first SLS mega rocket won't fly until at least March, a month later. And this was not necessarily unexpected. So they have to replace an engine controller, returning the rocket to full functionality and redundancy while continuing to investigate and identify a root cause. It's new stuff. It's going to break. So they got several more tests, but we'll see where this goes. But maybe by March, we'll see this rocket fly. Orca is going to buy a medical record company, Cerner, in its biggest acquisition ever. Wow, $28.3 billion. This is a massive acquisition. And Oracle shares were down after the company announced the deal. That's $30 billion. All cash deal for $95 per share. These companies are massive. Massive. Wow. These are what global mergers and acquisitions look like. That's amazing. Democrats press Amazon for details on tornado warehouse deaths. A group of 20 senators and House reps are seeking answers from the company. How about asking that company at the candle factory, too? They weren't the only place that had mass casualty events. Democrat lawmakers claim that Amazon put workers' safety at risk. And they want some answers. Wow. The list of questions and requests also include demands for details about every on-site death of an Amazon worker over the last 10 years. Communications from warehouse managers to workers between December 10th and 12th, and copies of all company emails sent in the course of dealing with a disaster for the same time frame. Wow, they're on the hunt. The lawmakers also expressed concern over Amazon's reported plans to reinstate a ban against workers using phones. Well, we already heard about that. That's already been changed. So we'll see where this goes. You know, when it's bad weather, and you know there's going to be bad weather, you know, you got to have a plan. You really do. You know, if you've been told there is going to be severe weather coming into the area, you know, and you have a building that doesn't have adequate storm shelters, and I'm not saying Amazon didn't have adequate storm shelters, but you got to be prepared for this kind of stuff. Because you just never know when things are going to turn sideways like it did a week ago, more than a week ago. The United States has charged its former GRU officer with hacking and stock market trading scheme. So again, the DOJ is going after Russian nationals and someone that's part of the GRU, which is the equivalent of the CIA in Russia. So I won't go into the details here, but those 5 individuals probably would not want to go to a country that has extradition rights with the United States. I would think they'd probably better stay in Russia. How would you like to be indicted by the United States? Let's say you were living outside of the United States and you're indicted by the United States and you lived in a country that wasn't going to extradite you, but knowing you can't go anywhere else. Knowing you can't go to someone that's even remotely friendly with the United States or through a country remotely friendly, or you're going to get rolled up. It sucked to be you, wouldn't it? Google's killing off its One Hub routers, easing the pain with Nest Wi-Fi discounts. So in 2015, Google launched OnHub, a $200 router. The OnHub routers will continue to function indefinitely, but they'll no longer receive software updates starting December 19th. And what did they do? How much of a discount did they give? To help you upgrade to a new Wi-Fi setup, the Google Store is offering 40% off Nest Wi-Fi with the code below. So you can get 40% off a Nest Wi-Fi hub if you own an OnHub router from Google. So Google giveth, and Google taketh away. Pixel 6 connectivity issues have been acknowledged by Google. Google's finally admitted one thing many people were saying, there's a problem. It's probably just one, but at least the tech giant has acknowledged the issue. It's good to know the company isn't turning a blind eye. The Pixel 6 5G series is said to come with a connectivity bug. This become more obvious as new audio problems surfaced. So we'll see. They've shared some instructions on how to kind of help fix it. Along with the audio issues. So anyway, the link is in the show notes. If you've got a Pixel 6 5G and you're having connectivity issues, read the article that's in the show notes. Check it out. Do you use Chrome? Do you use Chrome extensions? I use Chrome extensions quite a bit. 13 of the best Chrome extensions. And it's a slideshow. I don't want to go through this because I'm going to have to click on 13 links. But this is from lifehacker.com. They're usually a pretty good source of information. But these are the best Chrome extensions according to Google. So a few of them are, there's Record Your Screen and Camera with the Loom Chrome extension. There's Moat. making voice messaging easy. There's WordTune. I like Grammarly myself. There's one called Forest, Dark Reader, Tab Manager Plus, Nimbus Screenshot and Screen Video Recorder, Cami, Insert Learning, Toucan, Rememberberry. I've not used any of these. Stylus, Rakuten. Oh, they only went to 12. So none of those. I've never used any of those. Here's the ones I use. LastPass, Grammarly. I use the ad blocker uBlock. I've got the Amazon plugin on my, and a few others. I've got Calendly because I do calendar scheduling all the time. That's the primary stuff I have for extensions in my browser. Amazon-owned Twitch bans Amazon account after a breast was revealed on air. Shocking. The official Spanish language Prime Video channel was suspended from Twitch on Sunday with no public reason given. However, it followed a segment on the talk show Esto es un Latte where the incident took place. So apparently someone exposed a breast. Comedian Henyar Alvarez lifted up her shirt partway, apparently joking that it was one way to end the hours-long broadcast. Well, the stream cut to a title card for a moment, then returned to the live feed a split second before the breast vanished from view. The stream quickly ended, but within a few hours, the channel was banned from Twitch. It's not clear how long Prime Video espionage suspension will last. Twitch doesn't generally make the details of disciplinary action public, and bans can vary in length. So if you want to show your boob, you do not do it on any of these platforms. YouTube, you don't do it on Facebook, you don't show it anywhere because they will chop it. What to expect from Apple in 2022? Well, lots of predictions being made. But they think 2021 might have been the calm before the storm, because they think there's going to be a whole bunch of changes because Apple building their own silicon. We've seen what's happened with the M1 chip, but we know that there's potentially a major iPhone redesign, maybe going to ARM technology within MacBooks. It's ARM technology. We'll see what happens, but Ars Technica's got a full list here of changes. And the augmented reality stuff, AirPods, iPads, all those products are going to see updates. And anything that's not on Apple Silicon will be making the jump. I have no doubt in my mind. Google is under investigation in California for the way it treats black women workers, and a report says the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing is investigating Google. DFEH is talking to black women employees who have worked for Alphabet. Emails revealed by Reuters show the DFEH is probing alleged harassment and discrimination. So the investigations and interviews have centered around alleged harassment and discrimination in the workplace. Two sources told Reuters the DFEH is interviewing both employees who filed official complaints and employees who didn't, suggesting the department is casting a broad net in its inquiry. DFEH is saying our goal is to ensure that every employee experiences Google as an inclusive. Oh, no. Google said this. DFEH did not respond, but Google did. Saying our goal is to ensure that every employee experiences Google as an inclusive workplace. Google said when contacted by Reuters, we will continue to focus on this important work and thoroughly investigate any concern to make sure our workplace is representative and equitable. You would think they would be pretty strong in that department, wouldn't you? But you never know. You never know. Elon Musk says he'll pay over $11 billion in taxes this year, one of the biggest personal payments in U.S. history. $11 billion in taxes. Estimated he's already paid $7 billion in state and federal taxes this year and will pay a further $5 billion by January 1st, the single largest tax bill ever. Isn't that insane? $11 billion. Now, he's making a lot of money. But he has a combined tax rate of over 53%. So that means he made like 22, 23 billion, and they're going to take 11 billion from him. Not still a good payday, but wow. That's a big number. Now, he only paid like 500 million in the past 3 or 4 years. So there was something to do with stock options this time was reason for the big bill. That's a big number. Big number. That one will hurt you. It'll leave a mark. Hey, Toby, thanks for saying hi on the live stream. Definitely appreciate it. LG's first gaming laptop comes with an NVIDIA RTX 3080 GPU and 11th gen Intel CPU. So if you're looking for a productivity-oriented laptop, LG may have the ticket for you. Link will be up in the show notes for you to check it out. The FCC settled with, we've already talked about that one. That's a duplicate article. So I guess that brings me almost to the end. But I did have a comment that came in that I missed. It's from Andrew. And I was so far behind on email, Andrew. I apologize. He sent this email on December 9th, 11 days ago. He says, hey, Todd. Regarding Starlink and Elon Musk, I'm not so worried about our first mover advantage, but rather that there are at least 3 companies each wanting to put over 10,000 satellites into orbit. We've made a good mess down here, and now we seem to be making the same mistakes up there. Until we solve the problem of space junk, there needs to be a moratorium on these mega constellations of satellites. Regards, Andrew. You know, I think that because these satellites are in low Earth, or the LRO, or low, whatever it is, low orbit, and that they have the ability to deorbit these satellites. I think the real danger is in the current space junk, whacking one of them, right, or doing what the Russians stupidly did by blowing up a satellite. They're going to have to figure something out for sure. But the thing is, as expensive it is to get stuff up there, it's going to be a lot more expensive to get it down. And I don't see how you talk about the speeds involved. It's going to be tricky. It's not the big pieces they're worried about. Those they can see. It's the small stuff that's the size of a BB or the size of a rock, a small rock. Those are the things that will just mess your day up. And unfortunately, some of that stuff is not tracked. So we'll see where this goes. But yeah, I don't think it's going to get any better for a long time. I don't think we'll see space cleanup in my lifetime. Maybe we'll. I don't know. Time will tell. All right, this is going to bring me to the end of the show here today. A quick one, quick in and out. Geeknews@gmail.com is the place to send your email. I'll be back with you for another show at the end of the week on Thursday. Definitely appreciate you for being here. Thanks for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting the sponsor. Thank you to all the insiders that continue to donate. And I had a few one-time donations come in this week as well. Thank you very much. That actually, every little penny helps in paying the writers and doing everything we do here. Because just to keep this machine on the air and do what we do is it's a 4-digit number every month. So we appreciate everything that you guys do, not including the rent, and that's a whole different bill. But just the web piece and the writers and all that stuff, that's well over $1,000 a month. So I want to thank all of you for being here, being part of the family. I will be back again with you on Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.